You feel it, don't you? That raw, tangled ball of grief no one else seems to understand. People might tell you to stay strong, to move on, to keep it together. But grief isn't neat. It isn't polished. It's messy. And here's the surprising truth. Your messy grief is not a failure. It's actually a divine mirror, showing you the very pathway to the healing you've been longing for. Now, after Logan passed, I remember the messiness of it all. My emotions were all over the place. One minute I'm crying, the next minute numb. Some days I couldn't pray. Some days I couldn't even get out of bed. And the world didn't know what to do with that. Some people wanted me to smile again. Others wanted me to be strong. Few knew how to sit with me in the chaos. Society has this unspoken rule. Grief should be quiet, short, and very tidy. But grief doesn't work that way. And labeling it as too much or wrong doesn't help. It hurts. If your grief feels messy today, let me tell you, you're not broken. You're human. And God is not afraid of your mess. But when I finally brought my raw grief to God without trying to filter it, something shifted. Instead of seeing myself as weak, I started seeing myself through His love. I didn't look away from my pain. He met me in it. Think of Job, who cried out in anger and confusion, or Jeremiah, who wrote the book of Lamentations, a collection of raw, unfiltered sorrow. God didn't shame them. He didn't say, be strong and get over it. He welcomed their lament as worship. He held their grief as holy. And He does that for you too. Psalms 34:18 says, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. And even when our grief feels messy, in God's reflection, we're seen, known, and loved. So how do we walk through grief without trying to clean it up first? In prayer, honest prayer, not the polished kind, but the raw, God, I'm hurting kind. Journaling, writing down the storm of thoughts and feelings that are swimming around in your head. Sometimes I wrote letters and poems to Logan. Sometimes I just poured out questions to God. Lament, letting your sorrow become a form of worship. Crying in God's presence is still prayer. Community, letting trusted people sit with you in the dark without trying to fix you. These are not steps to erase grief. They're tools to help us process it with God instead of apart from Him. Something incredible happens when we surrender our grief to God. Over time, not overnight, pain becomes a little softer. Messy grief becomes the soil where resilience grows. I've met people who turn their grief into advocacy, into compassion, into testimonies of God's faithfulness. And I've seen it in my own life. Out of the ashes of loss, God has called me to share Logan's story and to remind others that grief, though devastating, can still carry meaning. Your pain doesn't disqualify you. It may actually be shaping your greatest purpose. But let's be real. Grief isn't linear. Healing isn't straight forward. Some days you'll feel peace and the next, it'll knock you down. That doesn't mean you failed. It means you're human. And here's the hope that anchors my grief. I hope that God is in your presence. His promises of eternal reunion reminds me that separation isn't forever. So if your grief feels messy, I want to invite you to embrace it. Don't run from it. Don't shame yourself for it. Let it be what it is, a divine mirror, reflecting God's nearness and your own courage to keep moving forward. I'm Angela Frazier, walking through the sacred mess of grief with God's grace as my guide. May you see your sorrow not as something to hide, but as the very place where His love shines the brightest. Get your free devotional journal, Beauty in the Valley, inspired by Logan's journey home, at the link below. With love always, Angela and Logan.